Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, here we go. It is a Friday, KVJ After the Show podcast. What the hell is going on, man?
Yeah, we're doing that strip poker for the podcast.
Oh, yeah, you know it. Let's do it. Yeah, a bunch of dudes swinging our sausages around here. That'd be a lot of fun, man.
Pop out them jewels.
Yeah, that's it. We got to get at it, though. We did raise your hand poll here today on the regular show, and this is where we kind of delve a little bit deeper into this to get some answers. First question that we had asked was, raise your hand if you've ever taken a video or a picture of a stranger without them knowing it. You and Denny's both raised your hands on that.
Well, I raised my hands because we've done pranks with strangers that they didn't know we were filming them, and then we go and ask permission.
Yeah.
So that technically counts, right?
Yeah, I guess that does.
It's kind of a boring answer, though.
Yeah, I guess that does qualify. But no, that's true. It works.
That one guy I took, I didn't know him. He was pooping on the side of the street holding that lamp.
Yeah.
The lamp post. He had no idea I took his video.
Yeah.
I did put it on YouTube. I'm sorry, man. If you're pooping on the street,
it's open
fair.
game.
It's open game.
It is fair game. Yeah, I think that I probably have as well. In fact, I think I have. I remember, for instance, one just jumped to mind. I was going into a national championship football game in college, and I saw Charles Barkley walking in an Auburn shirt. And I took a photo of him. He had no idea. He's technically a stranger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I should have raised my hand. So
the light grabbing pooper, you never see his face. You just see him taking a dump. So it's kind of a victimless crime.
Yeah, we probably all have. If you hooked up with somebody that you met only on social media, half of us have. Did you raise your hand on that?
Yeah, I did.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, I've met somebody on social media and then gone out and then we've hit it off before.
Okay. You hit it?
Did it lead to sexual relations? Yeah, probably so.
Okay. Got one here. Yeah, so 50%. Who was the other one that had done that? Was it
I
Suits?
think it was Suits.
It was Suits. Okay, yeah. Suits is just picking up all kinds of tail on social media.
You're just talking about, you were talking through Messenger and then you guys meet up and then you hook up, right? Yeah.
That's it. That's where you met. It wasn't at a bar. It wasn't through friends or anything like that. It was on social media. How'd that?
Yeah, commented on a couple of stories on Insta and met some people that way. Some flings, nothing really like long lasting out of it, but
I would say more probably flings, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely would call them flings.
How many correspondence before you send a photo of your dick?
I don't do that. I'm too afraid of that getting leaked.
Not anymore.
Okay.
You gotta know. You gotta trust the person.
I grew up in the digital age. I can't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay.
The only time I've ever done that is when it's been with someone that I trust, and if they were to ever turn their back on or they'd stab me in the back like that, I just at that point know you can never trust them again.
Yeah, I hear you. Hooked up at a wedding? Was that only you, Bird, that raised their hand? That was 25%.
How am I the only one that's ever hooked up at a wedding before? People are so horny at weddings.
I haven't been to a lot of weddings. I don't know what it is about my life, but I really have not been to many weddings. I can probably count the weddings I've been to one hand. Wouldn't even doubt that. My number might be at 5. And some of them I was younger, and the other ones that I can remember, a couple were with the Mexican Queen, and so I'm not hooking up.
I've been to quite a few weddings.
Yeah, I didn't have that where, during my single years, because, when a lot of people were getting married in their single those years, I was moving. I was doing the radio thing. So, pretty much all my early 20s I was moving to new towns and stuff like that. And by the time friends that I made there got married, then I was living somewhere else. So it never worked out. Worn the opposite sex's underwear. 3 out of 4 of us have, but it was all for comedy reasons. Yeah, I can't remember. I've worn women's panties a lot.
We've done so much shit with...
And pleasured yourself more than 3 times in a day. That was the most controversial one. Only half had said yes, and Daddy's reluctantly was like, yeah, probably my teenage years I did. I don't think I had. The only time I remember was the one time in my teenage years, and probably 3. I mean, 3 is, probably happened after the teenage years, but not more than 3. I can't ever remember a time when that happened. And I can't remember the one time that I did get what we called in my hometown Gandhi, where you just rub your dick raw.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many times that happened, but I think that was done at a time where I didn't really have the finesse yet. I think I gripped and ripped a little too hard.
Yeah, it comes with seasoning. Just being more of a veteran.
I was not kind to my peen in that era.
I don't think any teen was.
Well, you're still growing into it. You're growing into your whole body.
Yeah, it's like we had a grudge match going on.
Yeah. And a lot of times you don't win.
It's quite violent. Yeah, it was very.
Yeah, I mean, 3 times. I guess some people don't have a high sex drive. I think if you have a high sex drive, especially in your masturbating prime years, it's gonna be more than 3.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of times where no one's home. There's nothing to do. When I was a teen, I mean, you kind of just killed time.
I lived alone during COVID too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Things get away from you.
Okay.
I do feel like the 3 to 4 time a day is definitely a young man's game.
Yeah,
that's what you do when you're first discovering.
Yeah.
But y'all are different too, because you guys live. It's different when you live with people, especially when you have a partner.
Sure.
You can't be. What are you doing in there, Denny, Sweet Denny's?
Oh, I'm jerking off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna fly.
Well, I mean, you'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something you just can't really yell. I mean, you'd be like,
I know some couples that they know when the other one's masturbating and they leave them alone and they're cool with it.
Really?
If I was ever masturbating, and I would try to keep that so off the radar and not celebrate it. Unless we're both doing, the MM. Mutual masturbation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Then you could do it.
But that's different than your own alone time. That I would never want you to know was going down.
Other than that, I feel so shameful.
I would be mortified if I knew my girl. Oh, man, Bird's in there tugging it.
She's in there whacking it. Let's give her 20 minutes.
The guilt. What
have
I done?
I guess I'd be kind of. I don't want her to know.
I'm a slave to my flesh.
I gotta control myself. Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm an animal.
I think.
I can't control my urges.
Wouldn't you hate that if you heard Jen walk in and you're not completely done tugging it and you finish and you can hear her walking around the background? Would you be comfortable with that?
No.
My gosh, no.
Yeah.
There's people that are.
That's really.
Yes.
Yeah, that's weird to me.
Yeah, that'd be weird to me too.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it.
Okay. All right. Well, some interesting. I learned even more about you guys today.
An open book.
Yeah. I hear you.
Read away.
I saw Virginia just text in. She's like, I'm so sorry I'm not there. I feel bad for making extra work for everyone.
Oh, Kev. I'm in the bushes, Kev.
I want to do the dirt.
Kev.
I had so many stories nobody give a shit about.
I got pink eye, Kev. It on Netflix.
I couldn't make it.
I replied to her.
I didn't know she texted.
Denny's responding. You're cool. It's been chill.
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
gonna fire. Right. I'm gonna fire back with.
Feel
my
better.
gosh, it's been so tough today.
I just want her to get better.
You're not gonna believe the amount of work. Kevin won't tell you this, Virginia, but it's been absolutely just devastating.
Kevin cried after the show.
I'm not gonna really do
Virginia.
that.
Yeah.
Hashtag fuck Virginia.
So sorry, Kev.
Oh, Kev.
Mm-hmm.
You guys sound just like her, by the way.
Just like her.
I've been working on my Virginia impression for quite a long time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's morphed into many different. It's evolved.
Well, it depends what Virginia you're giving us.
You're right.
She's got a different face for a bunch of different reasons.
If Virginia is hammered, it's did I do that? She turns into a
Urkel,
drunk Urkel.
Yeah.
She kind of goes in the key of.
She does that a lot when she's drinking.
Very breathy, hot breath.
Yeah, hot breathy. Hot emphasis on the
Who's
hot.
ready to die?
Who's ready to die? I want to hear about how her gyno appointment went yesterday with Rocco.
Her TikTok video is crushing.
Oh,
find
yeah?
anything
She
in
did a
there?
TikTok video. What did the TikTok video have?
It was her and Rocco in the
Yes.
TikTok or in
Okay.
the gynosaurus's room.
Uh-huh.
I said it right.
Yeah.
Gynecologist.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, and what happens?
I think she
Or is
was
that
like,
is it a cliffhanger.
when your son comes to your gyno visit,
Oh, okay.
awkward.
It had the TikTok voice. When your son is at your gynosaurus appointment.
It can be.
And, yeah.
So I don't know a ton about TikTok. Can you not use your own voice, or is it just supposed to be much cooler to use the
You
stupid
can.
robot-y?
They give you options of about, I think, 12 different voices you can do.
So if you type it out, you have the option to apply a voice to it, like 12 different ones. Or I think you can narrate it yourself, but I think it's easier just to type it.
Yeah, the narration I think is more of the voiceover shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do a list because there's at least the 10 ways TikTok annoys me, and I can tell I'm so old, and it's like old man rant, but it's like, yeah, I don't know why.
You're not. First of all, you're not that old. And second of all, I know a lot of people in their 20s that fucking hate TikTok too.
Well, it's I don't know, that voice. It's been overused, I think, is the issue. I don't like with it, and people use it like that voice is funny.
75% of the TikToks are that voice.
I know, and I'm just kind of over it.
Or the other one that is, she's a 10, and then. I don't know, she's taking a dump or something.
That's so played.
It's so played. And then I think it only works if you are a 10. You got motherfucker 5s calling themselves 10s.
I know,
It doesn't work. I'm not trying to bad out people's looks. But anyone that's calling themselves a 10 is kind of an asshole anyway.
Yeah.
Very braggy, yeah.
So braggy.
Yeah. There's a lot of irritating things about TikTok.
I'm
not any kind of aficionado on it, but
it lends to be very braggy.
The other ones, when they put up a message, it'll say when you have plans on a Friday and they cancel, and then they just show them doing something like they're just dancing like this, and it's like
there's not a lot of content, and then you look and it's got 7,000 fucking likes on there.
I'll see that same video 14 times. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Just, that does get a little grating.
It looks like, to me, TikTok rewards mediocrity. It rewards a lot of shit that's not that good because it gets in an algorithm. I'll tip my hat off if it's good, but there's some shit that crushes that ain't very good.
It rewards trends. It rewards you doing the trends that are
it feels like it's trying to group everybody, like we're sheep, and it's trying to group you into a pen together, and it's saying, this is the trend. This is how you need to live your life today.
I fucking hate it.
With that fake voice or whatever the fake voice is.
I personally hate when people tell me anything to do.
If you're not on this trend, you're not really cool or with it.
That's what they say. They shame you.
It's everything I'm personally against in my life. It's clout chasing. It's humble bragging. I fucking hate it.
Right. I hate it. We're compiling quite a list here. And this is my own personal thing. The Queen loves it. And so, we always lay in bed together, and I'll have the TV on as I'm trying to get information. I'm trying to do stuff for the show. And she just has no awareness. I think she's half blind and half deaf. And she has TikTok on her phone on full blast. And if you go, there are quick videos like, bop, 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 yeah, hey.
Yes,
it's like all yelling and shouting and loud music. And I'm like, is there any way you could turn that down just a little bit?
I think TikTok only has one volume set.
It's
abrasive.
It's abrasive
in
and
your
super.
face.
And I'm like, I'm trying to focus, and I'll have a thought. I'm like, oh yeah, this would be a great. And I'm like, what was that idea? I'm like, fuck, what was the idea?
You ever set your phone down while TikTok's on, and you're trying to do something else, and you have to stop and turn it off just because it's so grating?
There are times where TikTok can give me the lip sweats. I'll start to. It's just like almost. I'm trying to take care of a bomb or something. It just makes me start to sweat because of that same. Well, you forget your.
Right.
If it's not on the back, Virginia will do that.
Right.
She'll be flipping through the TikTok and you're trying to write something during the commercial break. Like, shut the fucking TikTok off.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody said the Queen needs AirPods. Yasik said that. Yeah, and you're right. And she does, but she keeps losing them. And so she uses my headphones. And you know me, of course, they're neatly folded and they're, wound up perfectly. And so she takes them and she'll give them back and they're crumpled in this huge ball. And then mysteriously, she used my computer headphones, the ones that I got to use for all the calls and all that. Can't find them. She's like, what did you do with them? I'm like, Kim, I never misplace anything. She's like, I don't know what you did with them. I'm like, Kim, I never take these out of my computer. I'm like, I never lose anything. She's like, it wasn't me. I'm like, oddly enough, I gave them to you the other night, and they're now missing. She's like, yeah, I gave them back to you. I'm like,
damn, she's doing a Mexican
she's
queen.
trying to do that. She's gaslighting me. Yeah, she's gaslighting. She's gaslighting me.
Just buy 5 more pairs and just keep them in.
And so I'm sitting there like I'm on the other side of the bed. I'm fucking aggravated because she's lost my headphones, and then her fucking TikTok is so loud. I'm like, ah.
And people are saying TikTok is just like other social media. You're right. It's not that I just hate TikTok. I just don't like the annoying parts of it.
Yeah.
Twitter, Facebook, all of it.
It is. Yeah.
It's all sort of the same.
You could do a what I hate about
exactly
any of them.
They all are. Yeah. But yet we're all so addicted, man. We can't get enough.
TikTok's weird because it's squelching creativity. It almost promotes you not to be creative. It promotes you to follow trends. Whereas the other one's kind of what's your creative thing you're putting out.
There's some creative stuff on TikTok. I just noticed that there's to Denny's point, trends get rewarded, not necessarily content.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. All valuable observations.
You want to do that battle rap? Fuck TikTok.
Fuck TikTok.
That would be fun to go in on it.
I think you would get a following. There's a good portion of people that don't like TikTok that like other social media.
Well, just looking in our chat room comments, it's fuck TikTok. I love TikTok. Fuck TikTok. TikTok's fun.
Yeah. That's the way with any platform.
It's all there. It's all
any channel, any platform.
At the end of the day, yo, ain't nothing but a glorified MySpace. Tom started the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
No love they get.
No love, but it's all MySpace at the end of the day, Denny's.
It is.
Got some emails here today. This one is from Cesar. Said most people had left USF's campus, but I stayed. Seems like we were lucky since the worst of it is done. I wish the best to everybody in Northport and the Fort Myers area. This is a photo just to let you know how many people left. Usually a full parking lot. There's 2 cars in it. So, yeah, that's the weirdest thing is when you think you're going to get drilled. Remember they're saying this is going to be devastating for Tampa. They haven't had a hurricane in 100 years like this. And then nothing. And then all of a sudden, and that was the one thing I'd seen in a lot of interviews yesterday was people in Sanibel that were just chilling. They're like, okay, this thing's going to Tampa. And then all of a sudden, like, nope. And it darts right in and drills us. And the thing I talked about today was fine. In fact, I'm looking at the most rapid intensifying storms in 24 hours. And you've got Ian at number 7. It increased 35 miles per hour in one day. But if you look at 48 hours, it went from a 75 mile per hour storm to 155.
I mean, wow.
In 48 hours.
That's why you should just kind of prepare for everything.
And all the storms are, you're
right. I went in and got stuff just in case it made a weird dogleg right into us.
I did. I had a fuck ton of Little Debbie snacks.
But all these super fast intensifying storms, number 1, 2005, 2021, 2020, 2005, 2018, and 2004. You see that these storms, they say that's the one thing that whatever the hell is going on, they're getting so nasty and so fast. Because I was kind of sleeping. I was like, Ian is like a tropical storm. And then, wait, it's almost a Cat 5? What the hell's going on?
I remember I saw it on the map when it was right outside, when they had just announced it wasn't going to hit Tampa. And you could see the size of it could easily encompass the entire Florida.
It was insane, just out of nowhere.
The day before, it wasn't that large.
Yeah, they say that's it. And it seems like the other pattern is a lot of these storms are ones that form in the Gulf of Mexico.
It's like the super warm waters.
It gets really hot, man. And it's almost kind of like they add a little hurricane seasoning on there to really fuck it up more.
Yeah. And the other thing that's kind of fucked up about it, too, is it's typically the first storm of the year. And I didn't think about this, but they said if there have been other storms that came through the path, what storms do, they churn up the water. And so it's getting water from way down that's cooler. And so these storms that are usually the biggest, so you've been sleeping on hurricanes. You haven't had one in a long time and hadn't been top of mind. They say watch out for that first big one. Because it's got the hottest water, and it's just, now that path that it just took, you're going to have cooler water there.
Absolutely.
So any storm that comes through is probably not going to get as strong because of that.
You're right. So future storms even this season.
Yeah, so you got to rethink the whole hurricane game. Everything you knew about hurricanes, rethink your damn hurricane knowledge.
Yeah.
The game is a-changing.
I mean, do you even hurricane, Denny?
Yeah. I know hurricanes are a harsh mistress, though.
Yes, they are. Megan sent in an email. She said, I've heard about KVJ helping victims from the hurricane. I got a dear friend who is 9 months pregnant, lost her house from the storm. Jeez.
That sucks.
She does have a GoFundMe page, and I was wondering how I can promote it through you guys to get some help for her. Yeah, just send us the GoFundMe, a little bit of information. We have a KVJ Cares page, and we try to read off and promote that so people can easily go and find it. And then we always encourage people, if you've got a little bit extra money around the holidays, if you're looking to bless people and you got some money and you want to do something awesome, maybe with your kids, be like, hey, let's go find somebody, and even give them a little bit of money. There's the KVJ Cares. Now we can't go in. We don't have the time or the staff to vet everybody, so it's all like we trust that you're not on there to scam people.
Yeah, I think the numbers they work out. We only get catfish 40% of the time.
Yeah, so you got to do it through that, and just saying, hey, you know what? If you are scamming people, then that's on you.
Yeah,
and
that's your own.
Hopefully one day you get hit by a bus or something like that.
But then what's funny is you survive the bus attack, and then you have to do a GoFundMe for your situation.
That'd be ironic.
That's the end of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. That twist.
Wow.
That twist.
Yeah, that could be it. But yeah, you see interesting stuff. A lot of good humanity that's out there, but there's just a lot of weird behavior that's happened. That's the one thing, man. When you get a hurricane like that, it's so unsettling. These people are rebuilding their entire lives. A lot of good out there, but still a lot of weird shit. Laura sent in this email. She said, my fiance and I are already dealing with our middle-aged next-door neighbor screaming and swearing at me. He cusses me out, threatens us. He pulled out a gun one time. Not on us, but another neighbor. And all the interactions are between me and the neighbor, and I'm only 5'3". I'm 22 years old. He's very intimidating. My fiance calls me while I'm driving home today, and he said a golf cart sped into our carport. The guy gets out of the golf cart, he belches, and then he pissed on our lawn. I attached photos. I turned on the street when he was backing out, and he pulled into a house about 6 doors down. What? He couldn't make it a few hundred feet to his house? We're baffled on what's going on, and there's the photo.
Wow.
From that, and you can see he just pulled into their carport and just started peeing right there.
My man is in mid-piss.
Yeah, weird.
Just people are so freaking weird, man. And he's got a guy. This guy's got a gun. He's agitated easily.
Well, you can't confront that guy. I mean, if he's unhinged enough just to pee on your property.
I mean, the way I look at it is if someone's in my backyard trying to fucking mill around and get in, I assume you're trying to harm me.
Yeah.
I've watched too many fucking murder documentaries not to be paranoid. Well, you're not there to play tiddlywinks. That's for damn sure.
Right.
So,
but a normal person wouldn't do that.
No.
I don't think you confront him. You're just like, I mean, it's only piss, but it's just weird.
I would definitely not confront.
Yeah, no.
Not in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. If you're on my property, I would think you're. I was raised that way.
Anyone who goes on your property, they're invading your space. There's no reason they need to be on your yard.
If you're not supposed to be there and you're not invited, and especially if you're looking like you're doing some shady shit, I assume you're there to harm me.
Absolutely.
Even though you may not be, that's what I'm assuming.
And people going on other people's yards should assume that too, because you can get shot.
It blows my mind that people. I told you the story back in the day when my dad, all he did was he pulled into the wrong house back up in Pennsylvania, and he pulled in because he was lost and was looking for his directions. A guy comes flying out with a gun. People get squirrely about their property.
No, they do. Yeah. Yeah, who knows? That guy might get shot one day. And all he's got is his dick in his hand.
But I just was wondering, does anyone else feel that way too, or am I too set? Crazy,
no,
oversensitive.
Like if somebody's on my property, I think something's going on.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, most people are that way. Got a couple texts rolling in. One person texted us from the 321 Space Coast. Said our company provides nurses to caregivers, and since yesterday I've received word that scumbag scammers are already calling the area, acting as insurance reps and verifying the elders' account info. That's terrible. And then they'll take whatever they have left and take all their money.
Terrible.
So, good Lord, man. What the hell? That's insane. So somebody's just gone through a hurricane. They don't have insurance. They don't have any money left, and you're going to go try to drain what they have left in their bank account.
Unfortunately, I think that's when the scammers really jump on those situations.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's easy for them. They know that people are at a time of crisis.
This is pure scamming time.
Yeah. Text from the 954 said, yes, Kevin, my hubby scrolls through TikTok in bed, and I feel like his phone is right in my ear. I'm trying to fall asleep, and he's got crazy shit screaming out of his phone. It is. If you're trying to focus or sleep, it's the most unsettling soundtrack.
Now, let me tell you what I do like about TikTok. I like a lot of the cooking videos they do. You can always get me with an animal video.
Yeah.
Oh, those fucking animal videos. If I'm in the right state of mind.
But those would do well on any social media.
And that's not what I'm talking about when I'm bagging on TikTok.
Absolutely.
Because that's considered to me very good content.
Yeah, I think that works across all platforms.
Yeah. Caitlin in Charlotte, North Carolina, we were talking the other day just about the standards that TikTok has. And I've never heard of this, but there's no way it's not happening, that these platforms, Instagram and TikTok, are protecting their biggest contributors and they create a standard for them that is not the same as everybody else, because I'm hearing people that are getting videos taken down or they're getting banned from the platforms. And there's a lawsuit right now. Pornhub is suing Instagram, saying that Kim Kardashian is posting up more perverse photos, and yet their account was taken down. And I have seen that because my daughter, she had hers taken down temporarily from TikTok, and then was showing me the Call Her Daddy TikTok page, and all the things they cited my daughter for and why her page was removed was all over the Call Her Daddy TikTok. You know,
yeah, it's all. That's what I'm saying. It's.
And Caitlin said, yeah, so I rarely post on TikTok. If I do, it's on the gram. But I had a video of my son, younger son, sleeping. It's all in bed, and it makes sense. And it just simply said, you know, when your son steals your pillows in your heart or something like that, and it showed him sleeping. Younger kid, and they took that down. Community guidelines violation for minor safety.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That algorithm's not catching all the stuff.
So can you
right.
not post a video with a kid in it?
You can, but what's gonna sometimes, like anything, there are little fuck ups and little quirks they got in there, and they've done that with us before, where something has been suspended, and you go, well, this makes no sense. You have to fight it, and then they will let it go back up there. It's just a little quirk that's annoying to deal with, but
it's probably like that unalived. It's probably a word in there
it's a weird,
flagged whatever algorithm. It's probably the word child. When the child steals your heart and whatever that post said, it probably flagged that word. But if you dispute it, they'll put it back out there because it's just the algorithm catching it incorrectly.
I've seen people do weed stuff on TikTok, and they threw us off for our cannabis Swiss cake roll.
I know, yeah. Well, and that was the thing. There's weed smoking all over the Call Her Daddy
I saw
TikTok.
A bong rip on a TikTok.
All over. She's smoking weed on like every third post.
But Denny's will tell
That's
you.
why I couldn't believe that they took yours down.
I'm very protective when it comes to any kind of weed, anything, with any social media. I really thought putting that weed Swiss cake roll was never going to get us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can't even prove that it really.
It could be just hearsay.
But they said, "Fuck you, bird. You know nothing."
Well, we wonder if it's how much slang, because I saw a video of a girl taking out a bong rip, and it said when you get that loud, which is slang for pot. And that did not get taken down. I saw it.
Get that loud. Well, I remember we had somebody post up their vagina in the comment section on Facebook, and I checked every day. It was up there for a good 6 days. So you never know. I mean, we're talking full on.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It's insane.
3D.
Mm-hmm.
It had that,
I could draw.
It had that thing where you scroll past it and it moves.
Yeah, it had the 360 move.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Got an email here from Teresa in Pompano. She said, I adore Dickie Rants, but she said, Kevin, good news for you that you may have missed. President Biden did sign the Sunshine Protection Act into law, getting rid of the daylight saving time. She said, we were dealing with a bunch of other BS as a nation, which is why you may have missed it, but we only have 2 more time changes left. We fall back this year, spring forward in 2023, and then the time will stay put. No, I'm not a crazy nationer. Well, I am, but not about this. I'm a global leadership trainer, so I do time zone math for a living. And through a small party when Biden did this, my husband thought I was nuts. He doesn't have to figure out Filipino time in the winter, so screw what he thinks. So I hope that makes you happy today. No, it does. I mean, I miss that. And I had seen, when I talked about that, I had seen a news report from this last week, and they had said that, I can't remember what it was. I think it had passed the Senate, but it still has, or maybe it passed the House, still has to pass the Senate, and that had to be signed by Biden. So I guess they missed it too, and I read that and thought that it hadn't. So according to Teresa, at least, I hope she's credible.
That's it. Look, if it's an email from KVJ Nation, I believe it.
I would be so thrilled, and I think it's great for Florida as well, because we're going to have more daylight later in the day, and hopefully that will mean people will be out spending money and shopping a little bit more to help all of our local vendors.
You know, we have some of those stats you wish you could have. You wonder if it goes back to making the days lighter, would that lead to less murder? Because I think people murder more at nighttime, no?
Yeah, no doubt.
I think it would lead to less
You probably
crime,
look at that stat.
probably.
Well, I don't have the numbers, but I've seen those kind of stats that it does. Well, I mean, it makes sense because it's easier to hide. People can't see, and people are unaware, and you can hide in certain places and jump out and be like,
You're right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Halloween Horror Nights as scary if it's Halloween Horror Day?
No, it's not. I've gotten there early before. When it's
I
still
don't know if
sunsetting.
it's not as scary, right?
No.
Yeah. Chat room wants to know, how did you bring murder into daylight saving? That is an impressive skill. Can I come up with a topic and somehow you can bring it around to murder?
Probably.
That is an amazing skill set that you have.
And you all guys played along with me.
Yeah, because that's where we
appreciate
were
it.
at that point. Yeah.
You somehow steered it into an actual question. Yeah.
That is impressive.
You can get from any topic to murder.
I gotta
in
watch.
less than 10 seconds.
I gotta reel it in. I get it.
Did you finish the Dahmer special on Netflix yet?
I didn't, and I'm one of the few people who just didn't love it.
I'm hearing mixed.
I didn't love it,
But I'm hearing 70 positive, 30 negative.
I'm also getting annoyed with everyone's emailing me saying, Bird, everything was factually correct about the series. And that's just not at all true.
Okay.
There are some things that are not factual about the Dahmer thing.
I wouldn't question you on murder.
Yeah, but just people going, Bird, what the fuck are you talking about? That thing is so accurate. Jeffrey Dahmer, believe it or not, was not this quiet guy around his friends in high school. He was kind of a jokester. They portray him to be this the whole time.
Like
really.
the entire time he looks like
He
he's
wasn't
a
like that
murderous
all
guy.
the time. He
Yeah.
just was not. And if you look at interviews of the past, you'll even hear Jeffrey Dahmer talk about that. How he was kind of a jokester and not this withdrawn person that they make him out to be. Now he might have been that way in his house with his family, but it wasn't always like that. And that's the thing that they really do, in my opinion, miss.
Odd that you could be a jokester, in front of people and have murder in your heart.
Well, it's the most fucked up version of the sad clown.
Okay.
Look at me, I'm gonna make you laugh. Make you laugh. Look over here while I make you laugh, so you don't look over here while the pain.
And I assume this is like a psychosis type of term. You're going with the sad clown. Is that you're dropping some.
I'm dropping some murder terms.
Okay.
You're baiting me. You're making.
I am. But you're taking the bait. I mean, it's the easiest fishing I've ever done.
It really is. Now you're gonna get somebody who writes you a 7-page manifesto arguing with what I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you I'm giving you the skinny.
Nurse Schmidt said that they portray him as a jokester later on, crashing class pics, doing imitations.
I've seen that part, and
okay.
they do, but they really, really, really zone in on he was withdrawn and quiet and didn't say much and do much, and that just wasn't always the case.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I assume there'll be a lot of people probably delving into that. Something else to watch, Barbara put on her radar. She said, just in case this is slipping by unnoticed, Hallmark Channel is slowly re-releasing Garage Sale Mysteries with the disgraced Lori Loughlin. Thought you want to inform your listeners of this important non-event.
You know what's the videos I've been watching on YouTube? It's some dude will go to a garage sale, have a GoPro on, and you just watch his entire...
Well, him shopping for deals?
Yes.
That's pretty fun.
It's oddly entertaining.
I could see that.
It's kind of relaxing. There's not much going on, but there is.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of just seeing what's there because that's the cool thing about garage sales or just stopping off at those. You can come across some really random items.
Do you hate that lifestyle going to would that be a low budget, awful Saturday for you? Wake up early, go to 3 or 4 garage sales to go hunting for stuff?
That wouldn't be my style. That's not my style.
You're like, sweet.
And you got to wake up early.
I know,
It's kind of like waking up for the show if you want to get there first.
I get it. You know what? I too get in weird grooves that I recognize, like nobody's going to be into that. And maybe something would happen where I have an amazing experience and it becomes my thing for a while. But yeah, I just don't know that I'm set that way. And man, there are some people that love it. When I went to Jerusalem, we were with a guy that loves to haggle. He was in his element, man, because buying anything in the markets in Jerusalem, everything's negotiable.
Absolutely.
The price is just the starting point. And he was so proud. He was buying shit he didn't want or need just because he was able to knock 1/3 or 2/3 off the price, and he couldn't believe it. And I'm like, what are you going to do with a ram's horn? Like, what benefit does that have?
Dude. You could do a lot with a ram's horn.
Okay, yeah, he was a shofar. He was so excited that he was able to talk somebody down on that.
I have buddies who really, I'm terrible at it. I would rather just see a price on something and I decide if I want to pay it.
That's my.
I don't want to. We're not dating.
Right.
I don't want these fucking this game.
I got enough hassles.
I don't want to play a game when
no.
I'm buying something.
But I have buddies who really they get off on $50, huh? I see a mark right there. Probably no more than 35. I that's not my game, and they get off on doing it, and they're good at it.
Somebody pointed out, just to let everybody else know, that they are doing a toy thing, a toy market at the American Polish Club tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They wanted to let you know about it. They're going to have the G.I. Joes and Star Wars figures and all that kind of stuff.
Where the wrestling thing was?
It was. That's just my game.
It's where the first Vanilla Ice
we could check it out.
Block party was.
Yeah.
I'd go to that.
Party, yeah.
I would absolutely check that out.
Yeah. So if that is your thing. Do they haggle at those, or you got to pay
You
whatever
do.
price
You know my buddy JR.
Yeah.
He has the shop Kelsey Vintage in Lake Park, who he always runs that Rust Market. I can't tell you how much he got my M&M thing I got that I love. I keep bragging about.
Mm-hmm.
He got a lot knocked off for me.
Yeah.
He's good at doing that.
Yeah, I know some people love it. I mean, actually, I was telling the story. I used to do those flea markets all the time when I was fencing all those stolen goods and I didn't know it. Yeah, so I would do that. And it was fascinating. I got my beer signs there, and I would find some things. There are some odd things like that you're like, where would you go and buy, at least especially in this time, this is the early 90s. And I bought those neon beer signs. I'm like, this is badass, man.
And there's a story to tell there, too. I'm telling you, there are some really just out there kind of people. It would make a very good sitcom.
It would be fun. I mean, it's fascinating what you can find there.
You ever see it's Eugene Levy? It's all the people from Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
It's what's
the Mighty Wind.
The Mighty Wind. They also did the dog
Best
one.
in Show.
Best in Show.
Mm-hmm. Waiting for Guffman.
Waiting for Guffman. You could do a type of movie on the culture.
On that circuit. That's such a good idea.
On the toy circuit.
Yeah.
They're all quirky, interesting, weird people.
They got stories.
Yeah.
It's a very, if you like the kind of
You're right.
event, it's very fun.
A lot of dry comedic opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
If you went to a sports memorabilia one, you would probably lose your mind because you would see stuff from the 70s, 80s, the era of...
Yeah, some people do. And oddly enough for me, I've started to realize, I don't know if it's age or what, I'm not a massive diehard sports fan anymore. I love my football, but...
Gotcha.
It's time consuming.
It happened to me too. Loved watching baseball. It was my thing.
Yeah.
I got out of it.
I've dropped off. I don't know a ton about baseball or basketball. I mean, football I'm still pretty plugged in, but aside from that one sport, so I don't know that I'd necessarily call myself a sports fan so much anymore. I'm a football fan. That's about it.
If you went to let's say you went to your version of a toy thing, what would you lose your mind if they had tables and tables of all kinds of vintage shit you could buy that would really tickle your fancy?
Probably the closest, but I'm not sure that I'm even that. I'm not big on possessions. I don't go crazy on stuff like that. So I don't know, even if it'd be Buckeye memorabilia stuff. At one point, beer stuff I did kind of like because it's cool. It's different. It's artsy.
It doesn't even have to be an item you would buy as far as it could be a beer station. What would be the thing you would go to where you would spend money and be pumped to go to table?
Before digital music, it was going to record stores, finding CDs, albums, things like that. Used to be really awesome. That was a fun hunt for me. I would do that.
I used to love trying to find new music and then show all my friends before they heard it.
Right, exactly.
And then you would brag about it all week. I showed you that band.
Yeah,
that was
the same way. Yeah.
I mean, that's how you would sometimes find. You'd go to Sam Goody. That's how I found John Mayer. I was going to FAU, and I had about 3 hours before my next class. So I went to Sam Goody.
Yeah.
They had those headphones in there.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is this John Mayer? And I go, I like that song. I'm gonna buy this shit.
Crazy,
Yeah,
right?
And it became one of my most favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went to the Virgin store in San Francisco, and they had like 3 floors.
Yes.
It was amazing. They had those listening stations, probably had 50 different listening stations. I was like, this is freaking amazing. Because before that, there was no other way that you could hear those songs.
You're
and
right.
I'm like, you would buy an album blind, basically, saying, I don't know, I hope it's good. And then you'd be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And if you're a music lover and you like to consume new
I
music,
go in there and spend half a day.
it really is kind of you kind of have to block off an hour or two to hunt new music.
Every Tuesday, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We would go find new music. Every
Right.
Wednesday was new movies. Every
That's
Friday was
fun.
new video games.
I get all that. Yeah, you could find your thing. I don't have something right now that it would be but I've at times in life have had that where I'd love to go to try to. It's the thrill of the hunt, man.
And I think what happens too with music is that not a lot of new music is easily exposed to people. So because we talk about it all the time. If you want to find some new music, you have to probably take a Friday night where there's nothing going on for about 2 or 3 hours.
I'll do that,
and listen to some shit. But that's time consuming, and most people aren't going to do that.
Well, the thing that I didn't realize, we're playing the song and beating the hell out of it right now, but that Sia Unstoppable song.
Fuck, Kevin.
Right, I know
Which song?
I can admit, and I was telling Jaybird this earlier, if I hear a song I like, I turn it off every time I hear it because radio burns everything out. So I can recognize it's a solid song, but how that slipped through the radar, because Sia's been big for 10 years.
That song's from 2016.
Yeah, so how she came out with a song 6 years ago and everybody freaking missed it, and TikTok is the one that dug it up, dusted it off, put it out there, and it becomes a massive hit. Why wasn't that a massive hit the first time around? I'd never heard that song. I thought it was new.
Power of TikTok, Kev.
I know.
It's a kingmaker.
TikTok's amazing.
Well,
Kev.
sometimes what happens I'm not sure what album, if it was off her last album that had all those hits on there, sometimes they'll pump 3 hits, and I think she did have 3.
Sure.
After that, she's probably onto a new album. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
And they're probably
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is really amazing when you find that song that just kind of slips through the cracks.
I'm seeing some comments. I like when Kev does New Music Fridays. I love that segment.
Yeah.
I like whether it's good or bad. I like to hear what's out there.
Otherwise you can't hear it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that Nate does like that because I don't know. I figured a lot of times I'm doing that probably for myself, and
I think there's a big demo that likes it because otherwise, how are you going to hear new music? People don't go out and listen to new music.
Yeah.
People love to complain too.
Yeah,
if something sucks, they were going to let you know. It's all part of the whole machine.
Yeah, right. So if you do love new music, and I'm always trying to find new stuff because I burn out so fast.
That segment's 3 minutes long. You know
I mean, is it that?
If you're gonna complain about a
3
3-minute fucking segment, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm emphasizing your point. People complain about so many segments we do. Some of them are so short. You go, how can you possibly complain about this?
It's 2 minutes. You take dumps that go longer. Let's fucking come on.
Yeah. So check out the new Yeah 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 song. Was that you that like Yeah Yeah Yeah?
I did. They're really hit or miss though, because they.
I think their new song's a hit.
All right, excellent. Well, so the new Paramore, I actually listened to that song 3 times since I pulled that audio because I thought that song was a jam.
It is a good little tune, yeah.
I would have never listened to. Not that I don't like Paramore. I haven't listened to anything they've done new.
Yeah.
I didn't see the response from the texting, but I saw in the chat room a lot of people didn't like that Paramore song. I thought that thing was kind of.
I
thought that was groovy.
To it,
I gotta listen to it again because it didn't smack me in the face, but it's one where if I listen to it a few times, I'm like, okay, I kind of like that.
I can picture it being in a movie where there's a heist going on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It kind of, the weird thing about new music, in my opinion, is they almost go more for a vibe than anything now.
Yeah.
They're creating
instead
of content, instead of music, instead of lyrics, it's about that groove, that vibe.
Yeah, it's almost like they're creating for the Yeah Yeah Yeah's new song. It sounds like something it could be made for a Bond movie. Or it sounds like something that would be cinematic.
I'm glad they're doing
I
stuff.
typically like cinematic sounding stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cheese dick like that, but yeah, it's got that kind of. And you're right. That's interesting to say. I wonder what the mindset is. How much now? Because music used to be about from the heart and let's pour stuff out and let's say something. And now you're right. It's like we're creating something for a car commercial or for a video game or for a movie.
We're listening to Whitney Houston yesterday.
I mean, weeping.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know she didn't write the song.
It's hard not to, by the way.
I'm sorry. Songwriting was just. You're right. There was a lot of content in that whole fucking thing. There's a story told, there's feelings in there. And you're right, there's a lot of repeating of the chorus.
Yeah.
A lot of getting the intros were longer back then.
Yeah.
They took them seriously.
They will not do that now. That's one of the big changes. They a lot of times start with the chorus in songs. You would really rarely see a 30, Circles by Post Malone. I'm shocked that they have that kind of intro on a song because you got to hook people and people are punching around so fast or hitting to the next track.
You're right, it's a long ramp. That's like a 16-second, 20-second ramp.
And you also got to remember too, just because it's the hot thing at the time doesn't also mean that's always the, because you date yourself too if you make everything now no intro. Being against the old way sometimes can date yourself too if you're not careful. If everyone takes away the intro, now that is a dated thing.
Yeah, it might swing back the other direction. That's the one thing I would love about a Metallica song or something like that, where they they will go 60. They'll go to a minute and a half before they even start singing.
Well, so that used to be
longer.
the trend was to show off your intros. Old songs used to have long intros because they were showing how good of musicians they were. It was setting up that. Old songs would set up. You'd start with they add another instrument, and it builds to a crescendo, and it all drops out for the verse.
We're learning some 1930s music right now on the guitar, and it's just it's eye-opening because it's just way harder back then with some of the shit that people...
Harder in what way?
Just they had to really fucking sing for their supper and be a good musician.
Well, you had to be good back then. Otherwise, nobody would even talk to you.
Now it's, you know, D, G, and E, and, you know, you kind of loop that, and that's the fucking song. But back then, if they were to do anything, it was more
music was written
complicated.
differently too. It was coming off of composers. So when they did catchy pop music, it was a simplified version of a composition.
Yeah.
You know, they were dumbing it down, and then over the years it's gotten dumbed down more until where it's just the message.
There was a pride to really stick in it when you were able to play an instrument.
Even crappy songs then had every note in the scale used. They did the music correctly. Now it's whatever sounds the best. You know, it's not necessarily
I saw a documentary on an old blues musician, and it was really fascinating just how good he was. In fact, it was the rumor was it all started with a guy that sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah. That's the famous.
Gosh, what was his name? Yeah, and so apparently he had come and played at a bar, and they kicked his ass out, and they're like, "You're no good." And then he comes back a year later, and he shreds on the guitar, and they're like, holy shit, what happened to this guy in 1 year? And that's where the story came up that he sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Had a short life, but they go on, and the whole thing was about how many other musicians he influenced, from Elvis to everyone else. He really, that whole Bayou Blues music that came out of Mississippi in that area that influenced Led Zeppelin and all these other bands, are like, you can hear his riffs and what he was doing, and he was creating music for like 2 years. So he sucks, he comes back, and no one can touch him. He makes 2 years of music, and I think he had kind of like a violent death or something like that. And it's a crazy story that went on to influence generations of music.
Well, we always joke about musicians get better at their instrument to impress other musicians at the end of the day. Because most people, if you don't play an instrument, you don't know what the fuck's going on. If it's hard or if it's
a person who doesn't play has no idea what you're doing. It just has to sound good.
They just see music going on. So but you never want to get called out.
And they had other musicians that were trying to play stuff, and they're like, it really is physically impossible. I don't know how his finger can hit these 2-3 notes at the same time. And they were looking back on that. They're like, that's why the reputation started with the devil, because they're like, they thought the devil was helping him play guitar. Because like it would take two hands to play the notes that he's playing.
My favorite thing about music is that no matter how good you are, there's always something new to learn. There really is.
Yeah,
music never ends.
Yeah.
It doesn't end.
Well, it's tough to get good at all facets of music. Because there's so many different genres, styles.
Yeah. Man, if I smoke weed with you guys, we'd talk for 10 hours.
We could just talk music. We could just all day music.
I forgot we were on the air.
I know. It's just like we're just sitting around.
I forgot Virginia wasn't
He's
here.
like, oh my God.
I don't even know about is this
I don't
even
even know if
good?
anybody's here. Sorry, I don't know.
We're talking about 1930s.
We just lost her. Yeah. This is what it would sound like if we just all got together. This would be our conversation.
So, you know, it's free.
It is. You're right. That's right. You can sign out anytime. Sorry, man. We just got going. It was fun.
That was fun.
All right, y'all. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Goodbye.